Hello everyone. So this is Seal here from Decent. So basically, I was an RG main previously, but right now I'm currently using Mecha and I'm planning to go Lightbringer in the future. So for today, what we're going to discuss is the gears that I'm currently using, the advanced runes, the stats, the skill build, and the future improvement goal that I'm planning to do with my character. So first, let's go with my gears. So basically, this is my PvP gear. I'm actually a glass cannon, somehow a glass cannon. But for now, I'm currently using Rosa Blade bracelet with Tenacity 4. Using Avalanche with Tenacity 4 as well, equipped with Hydra card. But once I get other good card like Drake, I'm planning to exchange Hydra to Drake. As for my grid shirt, I'm using grid shirt with Morale 2 and Moonox Star. Moonox Star and Morale 2 since I need at least 100 ignore defense for PvP. But more is actually better if you can reach for more. And actually on my weapon and on my offhand, I'm actually planning to get a penetration enchant, and for my weapon I'm planning to go SB sharp blade or get a morale 4. But for now, I'm using Merle 2 Grid shirt with Monarch Star. But if lucky to get a Merle 4 in my face and in my back, I think I'm gonna exchange Monarch Star with a defensive card, probably GR, or probably another damage card, which is Star Skeleton. I think Skeleton Archer Star. As for my garment, I'm just using the plus 12 patient cape. So it's still for the ignore defense. So as much as possible, you want to keep your ignore defense as high as possible for max damage. Because in PvP, ignore defense is actually really important. Even if you have 100% ignore defense, if your opponent has a lot of defense percentage, you're gonna hit lesser damage on that target even if you already have 100% ignore defense. So you should get as much ignore defense as much as possible. As for my boots, I'm currently using rune boots with PDI 2.7, but I'm planning to switch it up to Grandma plus 12 Grandma shoes. But currently I cannot snap that item, so I'm still sticking out to the shoes. As for my accessories, I'm using both Bright Moon. It's the synthesized version of Luna Brooch. So basically, both has SB4 with minimal PDI. If you can get something better, something with better PDI, it's gonna be better for your damage. Why Bright Moon? I'm actually using Bright Moon because it's the cheapest one that you can get for plus 15. And in PvP, refine attack really matters a lot. So the higher refine attack you have, the higher damage you do to people because it's true damage to people and ignores all the other resistance. The only thing that reduces the damage from refine attack is refine defense. So if you're fighting against people with a lot of plus 15 armors and you do not have plus 15 accessories or weapon, you're gonna do really low damage to them. Also, later on, I'll be doing a PvP test, a PvP demo of how I play my mechanic in PvP. So basically, the Bright Moon has Smoky card for hiding and Rate Star. Oh wait, it's Ultraman, but I'm I'm using Rate Star for this one. Rate Star for stun. You need that stun so you could actually immobilize the target. And once the target gets hit by stun, you're gonna do more damage to them. Technically, Avalanche has a built-in stun mechanic, so if you do both, if you add both, it's gonna be a good combination. As for my headgear, I'm using Starlight Ship. Basically, it's for damage, arms cannon. In PvP, your main bread and butter skill is still arms cannon for me, and not knuckle boost. But sometimes knuckle boost is good, but for now, I don't think I'll be using it that much. For the face, I'm using two items here. It's monoculars. This monoculars with PDI 3.7, and Star Love Song with Morale 2. It actually depends on my target. If my target is actually high defense like RG or AB, I can switch up to this one. But Monoculars is also good because it does damage to the immune 10% plus true damage if you make it to +6. As for my gear, my mount gear, I'm using Dreamweave Silk with damage reduction 2.9. If you can get, I think you can get PDI here or something, stats strength or something. I think it's gonna be better. For my back, I'm using Starlight Sweetie for the sleep effect and damage. So it's this one is actually good in PvP because you could actually immobilize the target if their HP is higher than you. Yep, if their HP is higher than you, they're gonna go asleep and the sleep doesn't get interrupted. And lastly, for my tail, I'm using Rainbow Wishing Whale with 10% max HP. So technically, I'm planning to get morale for this one, and I'm planning to get SB for this one for maximum damage. So the next thing that I'll be showing you is the runes that I'm currently using, the advanced runes. So for magnetic field, I'm using a 2-star gold star magnetic field rune. So basically, I can move and see the people invisible. Others are actually, I think, others are using the hover rune, but I think this is much better for my playstyle. Then I'm using ballistic modification rune for arms cannon damage. As much as possible, you want to get the high damage of the arms cannon plus an acceptable amount of neutral damage reduction. Lastly, for my energy cannon, I'm using 4 charges with 9 seconds reload time. Actually, I have a 5 charges, but it takes 11 seconds reload time. So for PvP, it's better to go lower charges reload time than higher charges reload time with a lot of charge. So basically, you want this first line to have lesser value and the second line to have whatever value. It doesn't really matter because you're going to spam that skill. For the small runes, I'm using assault attack rune not for the attack but technically for the refine attack. It's plus 36. Ignore death, armor breaking attack rune, size buff rune for the people, penetration rune, destruction rune for damage increase, and strength buff rune. So I'm actually using a really offensive advanced runes. As for my stats, currently I have raw attack of 14,000 and defense of 2,600. When I equip Mado gear, my attack goes up by around 400, around near 400. Then when I'm using full buffs with this is with food, 4 penetration food and 2 anti-that. So it goes around 16,500 for now. So as you can see, I already have 37.5 penetration. I already have 123 damage percentage. I made sure also that my defense percentage is high so I can tank damage. Physical damage increase is 27.8. Ignore defense is already at 101. Damage reduction is at 37%, and my refine attack currently is sitting at around 1,659. So basically, I think in PvP, what you really want to make sure is you get high refine attack. Refine attack really improves my damage a lot. When I started using mecha, I was hitting around 50k arms cannon only, but now I'm doing an average of 200 to 400k depending on the target. Sometimes I even hit a person with 1 million arms cannon, a single charge. You need only 100% minimum. 100% is already enough since when you're using arms cannon, you get 40% less more defense percentage when the person got hit. So technically, it's around 140% ignore defense once everything is added up. So as for my build, this is my current build for PvP. I'll not be explaining this anymore since this is really straightforward. So the thing that is important for me here is to get neutral barrier to level 8 and keep the magnetic field to level 3. Then have side slide, anti-gravity armor, and max these three main skills that I'm using. Sorry, for my stat allocation, it's 119 on STR, 119 on Dex, and 107 on Vit. This is for AC and KB build. You can actually allocate more in luck, so you have more damage, you have more raw attack. But I prefer to have survivability over that. As for my things to improve, what I'm actually planning to do before episode 7 comes, or whenever episode 7 comes, is get a plus 15 avalanche, get a grandma's shoes plus 12, make this into plus 15, or just buy another one into plus 15, and make grid shirt plus 15. And I think I am already settled down with everything in terms of equipment. As for my alternative equipments, for headgear, you can use eggshell view. You could use Kabuto. Kabuto is actually good. I think I'm actually switching up to Kabuto eventually. Where's the Kabuto? This one. It has 4% penetration and it does more damage to stun targets. Basically, when auto-attacking, you have 30 chance to stun the target, but it doesn't really work that way. Even with arms cannon, you can stun it using Kabuto. For my current handbook, this is only my current handbook, so you got an expectation on how much my progress is right now and my damage in PvP later. I think we have already covered up everything, and right now I'm going to do a PvP run, a test damage run, so you guys can see my current damage on PvP. So I'm just gonna use Dex Mill and STR Mill. Okay, we're going to try it out now in PvP. I don't really think testing out in dummy is actually a good idea, since every character has a different stat, and it's really hard to compare damage when you're doing on dummies. So the first thing I do is actually hide. Whenever you're hiding with Madogare, you doesn't get slowed, you don't get the slow penalty. So you can walk fast as if you don't even have Smoky. So I just do this over and over again. I just hide, look for my target, stalk that target if it has friend or something, then I try to hit them afterwards. Basically, that's my current gameplay. Even in 6v6, it's the same thing that on what I'm doing. You just need to be smart in playing mecha, since we are soft and can be considered as glass cannon. You can see that the second time I use arms cannon, the damage really increased a lot because that's coming from the 40% more ignore defense. So if I have more ignore defense, I'm gonna do more damage for sure. I'm actually aiming at around 170 ignore defense. Just make sure to hide a lot, because once you get visible, you're gonna get targeted by a lot of people. Make sure you play it smart. You just stalk your target and wait for them to lose their Kairi, lose their skills, wait for them to buff off. I think that's the proper way to play mecha in arena, or even in 6v6. Thing that I really don't want to face is GX, especially the debuff type. Since for mecha, you're relying a lot on your buffs. And once you get debuffs, Spellbreaker or something like that, Mandragora Howling, it's really it's really stressful. Even the poison is killing me right now, and I can't do anything about it. When you're fighting against rangers or anything range, it's really nice to keep your magnetic neutral barrier up. You get your neutral barrier up so you don't get damage. But the thing with neutral barrier, you don't get damage, but you still get the status effect. So you need to be careful. You need to be careful on getting stunned. The ugly thing with mecha is sometimes the damage doesn't even register. As you can see here in this video. Sometimes even if you hit arms cannon, it doesn't affect the person that you're trying to hit. So the best thing for me that a mecha could do is try as much as possible to one hit a person. Because if you fight in a long skirmish, you're gonna get fucked up for sure. So you just side slide, and hide. I think smoke is really helpful with that. As you can see right now, my minimum damage is around 250. I hit wizards and sages with 120k because of energy coat. But without energy coat, I'm hitting them a lot harder. If you can use magnetic field, try to use magnetic field because when you get the invisibility, reveal invisibility, you don't even need Horong anymore. Just try to position yourself, then try to hit them when they don't expect it the most. This strategy looks gay because you just keep on hiding, but it's actually the smart thing to do. You don't need to fight people head on. Just fight them with your skills and your mechanics. And I think that's it. For the pets, I think Orc Baby is good, Cyrus is good, Moonlight Flower is good, even the Dragon Beast is good. So just choose anything that you prefer. Oh wait, there's one more thing that I want to show. I want to show the prayers that I have invested on. Oh wait, I clicked the wrong button. I was going for the guild. Just ignore my house. So for your runes actually, if you're trying to ask me about the AC runes, I can't actually guide you anything about this. Normally what I do is whenever I have available gold medal, I just get what I need. What you need is mostly for the arms cannon and knuckle boost. Everything else is a bonus. But I think it's better to put in stats for now rather than the other skills that you don't need. So you can actually save up on gold medal since I just have a few gold medal. For prayers, I already have my HP, combat, and survive blessing on 150. I think I need that the most. Then for God's blessing, my damage to them humans already level 30. Ignore defense is already at 30. Penetration is already at 39, and I just need two more red cards. For attack, it's 20, and refine attack, it's 20. After penetration, I'm trying to max out ignore defense first, then I'm going to max out refine attack for sure. For defense, my max HP is already max. Damage reduction is already at 30. Neutral damage reduction is at level 10. Defense percentage is on 24. As for my the element card, the yellow one, I'm trying to max out wind damage for now because of the proton cannon. For the upcoming Lightbringer class, I already have my fire damage max up, holy damage at 12 because previously I was on RG using heavens, so that was a mistake. For reduction, it is you just pick whatever reduction you need. Anyways, you have alloys to prevent that for immunity for those damages. And I think that's it for now. Make sure that if this video is helpful, if you have other questions, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting more guides on my mechanic, the progress on my mechanic, and how I use my mechanic on my daily or weekly content. Actually, right now I'm still using my RG port TTL for first floor to fourth floor, but eventually I think I'll be posting a mechanic perspective for TTL, and I'm planning to test out my damage in there. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye. Thank you guys. Peace.